Most travelers over 60 think a balcony cabin guarantees comfort. But what if I told you that the cheapest room on the ship might actually be the smartest? From deeper sleep to saving thousands of dollars you can spend on shore, these 15 inside cabin perks prove you don't need ocean views to cruise like a pro. 99% of passengers keep paying for views they rarely use. But the top 1% of smart cruisers know how to outsmart the cruise line's marketing tricks and travel better for less. So if you're cruising after 60 or planning your first retirement voyage, grab a coffee, sit back, and stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why inside cabins are the smartest secret at sea. And before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We post new cruise hacks and senior travel tips every week to help you sail better, save smarter, and enjoy more for less. Number 15. Allergy-free haven. For anyone who deals with allergies, asthma, or breathing issues, an inside cabin can be an unexpected blessing. Because there's no balcony, there's no outside air bringing in pollen, salt mist, or ocean humidity, all the little irritants that can make it harder to breathe or sleep comfortably. Everything stays filtered through the ship's internal ventilation system, which means cleaner, more consistent air throughout your cruise. No salt spray on your clothes, no musty smell from wet railings, and no pollen drifting in from tropical ports. For older travelers, that can make a huge difference, especially if you already manage respiratory conditions or simply prefer a dry, steady environment. You'll notice it the first night. Easier breathing, fewer sneezes, and that fresh, crisp feeling when you walk into your room. It's one of those quiet perks you don't see in brochures, but you'll feel it every day you sail. Clean air, no irritation, and a cabin that truly feels like a calm, healthy retreat after a day in the sun. Number 14. Sail more, spend less. Here's a secret most cruise lines hope you never figure out. The cheapest cabins on the ship can actually take you the farthest. Inside cabins usually cost 40 to 60% less than balcony rooms, and that single difference can completely change how often you travel. For retirees or anyone on a fixed income, that's huge. Instead of dropping thousands on one dream cruise, you can stretch that same money into 2 or even 3 full vacations. Same food, same entertainment, same ports of call, just without the balcony price tag. Think about it. One Caribbean sailing in a balcony cabin might cost you $2,000, but book an inside room instead, and you could do a second trip to Alaska or the Mediterranean with what you save. That's double the adventure, double the memories for the exact same budget. And that's what experienced senior cruisers already know. It's not about taking one fancy cruise and calling it done. It's about cruising smarter, traveling steadily, year after year, collecting destinations like souvenirs without ever feeling guilty about the cost. Inside cabins don't limit you, they multiply your opportunities.
Number 13. All access, no upgrade needed. Here's the part most new cruisers don't realize. Once you step on board, everyone's vacation looks exactly the same. Whether you're in an inside cabin or a luxury suite, you're all eating from the same buffets, watching the same Broadway-style shows, swimming in the same pools, and dancing to the same live music at night. There's no velvet rope or secret door for balcony guests. On most mainstream cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, Norwegian, the entire ship is open to everyone. You can hit the spa, grab pizza at midnight, or join trivia in the lounge right next to people who paid 3 times your fare. So why spend extra for a view you'll barely use when the real experience is out on deck, at dinner, or on shore? Inside cabin guests enjoy every bit of that without the inflated price tag. Number 12. Peaceful midship hideaway. If you've ever stayed in a noisy hotel room, you already know how precious a quiet night's sleep can be, and that's exactly what you get in most inside cabins. These rooms are usually tucked right in the center of the ship, surrounded by other cabins instead of loud venues or open decks. That means no music thumping from the pool above, no chairs scraping across the deck at sunrise, and no vibration from engines deep below. It's a calm, balanced pocket where movement feels softer and the sound stays low, the perfect mix of peace and stability. Many older cruisers call it their hidden sanctuary at sea, a place where they can close the door, breathe, and let the motion of the ship lull them to sleep. Whether you're taking a nap between excursions or winding down after dinner, you'll feel cocooned away from the bustle, wrapped in quiet comfort. And the best part? You don't have to pay a premium or fight for a limited cabin location. The most peaceful spot on the ship is often the one most people overlook, right in the middle, where the inside cabins quietly deliver their magic.
Number 11. Smooth sailing, zero motion sickness. If you've ever worried about getting seasick, this next reason alone might convince you to choose an inside cabin. Most inside rooms are located low and near the middle of the ship, right where movement is the most stable. When the ocean starts rocking, this is the calm zone, the spot where you'll barely feel the waves at all. It's simple physics. The higher you go, the more motion you feel. Those expensive balcony cabins on the upper decks, they move the most. Meanwhile, inside cabin guests sleep comfortably right through the night without even noticing the ship turning or swaying. That stability makes a huge difference for travelers over 60 who may be more sensitive to balance changes or dizziness. You'll wake up feeling steady, refreshed, and ready to explore every port, not searching for motion sickness tablets or ginger candies. So while everyone else is adjusting to life at sea, you'll already be in vacation mode, calm, comfortable, and perfectly balanced. Number 10. Safety over scenery. If there's one thing that gives peace of mind on a cruise, it's feeling completely safe in your own space. And that's where inside cabins quietly shine. With no balcony doors to slide open, no slippery railings, and no outdoor access, these cabins remove the small risks that can turn into big worries, especially for seniors traveling alone or with mobility concerns. You never have to think about locking doors, dealing with strong winds on the balcony, or hearing strangers passing right outside your room. Everything is enclosed, secure, and steady. Your own private little suite tucked safely inside the ship. It's also the best setup if you're cruising solo or simply want a calmer environment at night. You can sleep with full privacy, no light from outside, and no worries about unexpected knocks or noises from neighboring balconies. The peace of mind that comes from knowing your space is completely sealed and secure makes every night's rest that much more relaxing. And for many travelers over 60, that sense of security is worth more than any ocean view, because the best view on a cruise isn't always outside your window, it's knowing you're comfortable, safe, and free to enjoy your voyage without a single concern. Number 9. Central and convenient. One of the biggest hidden perks of an inside cabin is location. Most of them sit right in the heart of the ship, close to elevators, theaters, and main dining rooms, which makes every day on board a lot easier. You're never too far from anything, and that alone can save you a surprising amount of walking and waiting. For travelers over 60, that convenience matters. You don't have to hike down endless hallways just to grab breakfast or get to a show on time. You can pop back to your room for a quick rest, freshen up between activities, or grab a jacket before dinner without feeling like it's a workout. These mid-ship spots also make it simpler when the ship docks. You're closer to gangways and elevators, so you're on and off faster during port days. It's a subtle detail that most people overlook, but once you experience it, you'll never go back to those faraway balcony cabins tucked at the very ends of the ship. Inside cabins aren't just cheaper, they're smarter positioned. Everything you need is just a few steps away, which means more energy for the fun stuff and less time wandering long corridors trying to find your way back home. Number 8. Steady climate, no glare. If you've ever stayed in a balcony cabin, you already know the sun can turn it into a sauna by mid-afternoon. The heat builds up fast, the air conditioner fights to keep up, and by the time you get ready for dinner, the room feels sticky and uneven. Inside cabins don't have that problem. They stay cool, balanced, and comfortable around the clock. Because there's no direct sunlight or cold ocean air pouring in, the temperature inside barely changes, no matter the weather outside. That means no harsh glare in the morning, no need to close curtains during the day, and no chilly drafts creeping in at night. Just a steady, comfortable climate that feels the same every time you walk through the door. For seniors, that consistency can make a world of difference, especially for anyone sensitive to heat, humidity, or sudden temperature changes that can affect joints and sleep. You set your thermostat once, and it stays that way. Simple, easy, reliable. It's one of those quiet comforts you don't think about until you experience it, and once you do, you'll realize how relaxing it feels to come back from a long day on shore to a room that's always just right. Number 7. The easiest cabin to keep clean and comfortable. One thing few people think about before sailing: Balcony cabins might look glamorous, but they're also high maintenance. The ocean air brings in salt, moisture, and wind that leave everything feeling sticky by the second day. You're constantly wiping surfaces, closing curtains against the glare, or fighting the humidity that creeps in through the balcony doors. Inside cabins? None of that. They stay cool, clean, and perfectly consistent from the moment you board to the moment you leave. With no outdoor air or sunlight pouring in, the room never overheats, the bedding stays crisp, and your things stay dust-free. You can set the temperature once and forget it, no adjusting every few hours. For travelers over 60, especially those with allergies, joint pain, or who just want an easy space to manage, this kind of simple comfort is priceless. Even your steward's job becomes easier, which means your room is usually refreshed faster and feels spotless every time you return. It's the kind of quiet convenience you don't notice until you've experienced both, balcony clutter versus inside calm. And once you do, you'll understand why so many seasoned cruisers happily trade the view for a cabin that always feels fresh, tidy, and ready to relax in.
Number 6. The most flexible cabin for future upgrades. Here's a little-known secret that experienced cruisers quietly use to their advantage. Booking an inside cabin actually gives you more chances to upgrade later. Cruise lines love to fill their higher-priced rooms, so when sale dates get close, they often offer heavily discounted or even complimentary upgrades to passengers already booked in cheaper categories. And guess who's first on that list? Inside cabin guests. By starting small, you put yourself in the best position to move up, sometimes to an ocean view or balcony, for a fraction of the original price. It's a risk-free strategy. If no upgrades appear, you still enjoy a comfortable, affordable room. If one does, you score a premium cabin for pennies on the dollar. For seniors who plan trips months ahead, this flexibility matters. You lock in a low fare early, watch the upgrade offers roll in, and choose the one that fits your budget. No pressure, no surprises, just smart cruising. Inside cabins aren't the end of luxury, they're often the gateway to it. You start with the best value and sometimes end up sailing in style, all because you booked the smartest cabin first. Number 5. Cruise line loyalty hack. Here's a secret most people don't realize. Your cruise loyalty status has nothing to do with how expensive your cabin is. It's all about how many nights you sail. That means even if you're booking the most affordable inside cabin, you're still earning points toward the same perks as suite guests who spent thousands more. It's the smartest long-term strategy for travelers over 60 who plan to cruise often. Every trip you take builds your status. Faster check-ins, free laundry, early boarding, cocktail parties, and sometimes even cabin upgrades. And because inside rooms cost less, you can take more cruises in a year and climb those tiers twice as fast. It's one of those rare situations where spending less actually gets you more. The cruise lines may not advertise it, but loyal inside cabin travelers often hit elite status long before balcony guests who cruise once a year. So if you love the sea and plan to sail regularly, don't chase the view, chase the loyalty nights. Before you know it, you'll be boarding early, sipping welcome champagne, and smiling quietly to yourself knowing you earned it, all from the smartest cabin on the ship. Number 4. No distraction living. One thing that surprises many first-time cruisers over 60 is how much time some people spend in their cabins, staring out at the ocean instead of actually enjoying the ship. When you don't have a balcony, that temptation disappears, and suddenly your cruise becomes more social, active, and full of moments you'll remember. Inside cabins naturally draw you out. You'll find yourself attending shows, joining trivia games, watching sunsets from the open decks, or meeting fellow travelers over coffee instead of staying tucked away behind a glass door. It turns your vacation from watching the view into living the experience. For seniors, that's especially valuable. Staying social, moving more, and engaging with others are proven ways to boost happiness and overall well-being. And on a cruise ship, there's always something new to discover just steps from your room. By the time the week ends, you won't be talking about what you saw from your balcony. You'll be talking about the people you met, the laughter you shared, and the memories you made out on deck. That's what real cruising's all about. Number 3. Easy boarding and exit. When it comes to boarding or leaving the ship, inside cabins make everything easier. Because they're smaller and simpler, you naturally pack lighter, which means less to carry, less to unpack, and less to repack at the end of your trip. That one choice saves you time in more ways than you'd expect. On embarkation day, you can roll your own bag on board without waiting in long check-in lines. And when it's time to disembark, you can use self-assist departure, walking off early before the crowds even start moving. No luggage tags, no waiting for color groups to be called, no stress. For travelers over 60, especially those who prefer independence or have connecting flights, that kind of freedom feels priceless. You control your timing instead of being stuck in a slow queue, and because your room is closer to elevators and midship exits, getting on and off the vessel is smooth and steady. No long hallways, no extra stairs, just an easy, graceful start and finish to your cruise. Sometimes the smallest cabin offers the smoothest journey. Number 2. Solo Saver Special. Cruising solo after 60 is more common than ever, and thankfully it no longer has to cost a fortune. Balcony and suite cabins usually charge a single supplement fee, sometimes up to double the regular fare. But book an inside cabin, and suddenly that solo dream trip becomes completely affordable. Even with the supplement, you'll still save hundreds of dollars compared to any outside or balcony room. That's extra money you can put toward excursions, onboard credits, or even your next cruise. Some lines, like Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, now design special solo areas with cozy inside studio cabins and private lounges, so you can travel independently but still meet others doing the same. For widowed, single, or independent seniors who still crave adventure, the inside cabin opens the door. You can sail wherever you want, whenever you want, without waiting for a travel partner or breaking your budget. It's freedom, flexibility, and affordability all in one small, smart cabin. Number 1. The smart traveler's secret weapon. Here's the part cruise lines don't want you to know. Inside cabins are their biggest secret weapon against themselves. They price them low to fill the ship, assuming most people will upgrade. But the smartest cruisers, especially seasoned travelers over 60, know that's exactly where the best deals hide. Inside cabins often drop in price closer to sail dates because they're harder to market. And for seniors with flexible schedules, that's a golden opportunity. You can snag premium itineraries, Alaska, the Mediterranean, even transatlantic crossings for less than the cost of a basic hotel on land. We're talking full meals, nightly shows, world-class service, and new destinations every morning, all for around $75 to $100 a day. It's the 1% mindset, the people who understand that travel isn't about how fancy your room looks, it's about how far your choices take you. By booking smart, you stretch your travel years, see more of the world, and enjoy the same ship, same fun, and same sunsets as everyone else, just at a fraction of the price. That's why experienced cruisers call the inside cabin their secret weapon. It's not about settling for less. It's about outsmarting the system and sailing more, spending less, and living better at sea. So, if you've been thinking a balcony is the only way to cruise comfortably after 60, now you know the truth. Inside cabins aren't a downgrade, they're a smart traveler's move. You get the same dining, the same entertainment, the same destinations, just with more savings, better sleep, and a quieter, cozier space to call your own. Cruise lines will keep pushing upgrades and limited time offers, but the people who've sailed the most know better. The real luxury isn't in the view. It's in the freedom to travel again and again without worrying about cost or comfort. If this video helped you see cruising differently, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more senior travel tips and cruise secrets every week. And tell us in the comments, would you book an inside cabin after hearing these reasons? Or are you still team balcony? We'd love to hear your take.